So, got this interesting looking package from Japan, and that is because I need to fix up this interesting thing from Japan. It is Technics SL-1200 MK1. Needs a good clean up, and the top cover's all scratched. I'll zoom you in so you can see things a bit better. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, all scratches and marks and stuff all over it. And looking on the inside, the tone arm is not resting on anything. Okay, so we finally got into the package. Here's the item. So let's see if it's going to work. So it fits the tone arm nicely, but next question is shaft diameter. Yeah, it looks good. So the next question is, what do we do? Do we undo that little screw and take this and use like a Dremel? We could use a Dremel cut-off wheel to make this same as this. Or we could try taking the retaining hook off the little shaft. I fancy that less. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the Dremel cut-off wheel route. So I'll get that sorted out and we'll be back. So I'm going to try and do a neat job at this, as it's a nice oak turntable. So I've got this amazing device, a record vise. And I'm going to try and clamp it. So I'm going to saw this piece of wood in half lengthways. I'm going to try and clamp it like this. So sort that out. 2 little blocks of wood for clamping. Okay, so as I said, this device is amazing. I've made some stuff to use with it. Hey, check that out. Cool. And I made these little blocks shaped to fit my table. A very precious table that my girlfriend and I obtained for £6 from a charity shop. Look at that. Now a precious living room table is a workbench. So I think I'm going to get this portion off the end. Just undo that little screw. Hopefully. Light. There we go. Yeah, that's worked fine. Okay, so we got the thing out. I've marked approximately where I want to cut. So I want to cut this side of that mark. I'm just using this little gadget. So, yeah, cut that side of the mark. So let's get ourselves clamped up. Oh, you don't see that, it's going to be boring. So, we're all clamped up, ready to go. Dremel is out. I spared you the boredom of watching me do all that stuff. And the first thing my girlfriend said was, you need your eye protection. So, look, I've got some quite nice eye protection. So these things don't look overly stupid, and they don't weigh much. So, they're quite good. Although they're quite dirty now. So I'll clean them in a minute. Right, let's go for it. I'm going to put a bit of tape around it. Or am I? No, I'll carry on. Oh, we're rotating. Right. Let's select from the mains. Safety first. Right, I'm happy with that. So that's zoomed in as you can get. Oh, yeah, don't want to focus at that closer range. But yeah, that's all right. I'll just get a file on it. Okay, so just show you how bad the cover for this deck is, or lid. So yeah, there's some wicked deep scratches in this one. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to sort things out. Yeah, they're even on the dome, which is unusual. Yeah, so we'll have a go at that. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. I'll start with the buffing wheel and see what that does, because I don't want to screw it up, so I'll start with the least aggressive and then get more badass if required. Right, so here we go, we're all set up and we're ready to polish. So I've got a polish mop on a 20 drill. I've been polishing aluminium with this, which is why it's completely black, but we'll see what it does to this. I wonder what we should use. I'll try some of this. So this is car polishing compound. Heavy cut apparently, so I'll give that a go. That's alright. So it doesn't look brand new, and there are still some fine scratches visible, but that's fine because it's an old deck, and I'm not trying to make this look brand new. So yeah, let's go with that. So while you've been gone, I've been giving it a good clean. Here's the stuff to lubricate the motor spindle with. Really light machine oil. So we'll get some of that down there. I'll get you in so you can see what's going on. So that's the oil hole there, as indicated by the word oil and an arrow pointing to it. Back in the day, there'd have been a little oil container supplied with the deck, but long since gone. Got another one of these upstairs that's got all that stuff. It's like really nearly mint. And this one is cleaning up really well, so I'm happy with this. So let's put a couple of drops of the old oily down there. There we go, nothing too crazy. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is replace that. Well, there should be two of these. So on the edges of the lid, I'll bring the lid into shot. So on the edges of the lid, there are these little rubber pieces fitted, and what they do is just prevent the lid from smashing into the top of the deck chassis and marring the paint. So I got some rubber tape, I think I should be able to use to sort that out. So let's get to that. Okay, so this stuff is self-adhesive rubber. So I'm going to cut a couple of little bits of this stuff to mimic that. So, okay. I'll make another one of them. Okay. And then I just attach them to the corners of the lid. Beautiful. Getting there. Oh, I should show you. So that's how it looks right now. So there's no platter on it. But yeah, it closes nicely. Those look fine. Cool. Okay, so I'm fixing up this SL-1200 record player. And in order to do that, I'm cleaning all the stuff that is associated with it. The platter is in good condition, but there's just a little water oxidation mark right there, here. Hopefully you can see that. I can just about see it on the camera yet. So I've been using this stuff for years. Autosol. I've been trying to polish some SL-1200 decks. I'm going to do them in another video. I'm mirror polishing them and doing a blue LED, they call it an upgrade, but blue LED change I'll call it, because I don't think changing things is necessarily an upgrade. And I've been using Autosol to try and get a finish polish on those decks, those SL-1200s, Mark IIIs, and it just isn't working. Like the fine scratches left from buffing and stuff, the Autosol just doesn't seem to be able to get rid of them. So I'm going to have like a face-off between the Autosol and this stuff, Mothers. I already really like the logo, the old biddy with the dark goggles. Yeah, cool. So yeah, according to internet like opinion, this stuff is great. So gonna try this after I've tried Autosol. So we give Autosol a go at this little bit of oxidation and see what it can do. If it disappears, there's another spot there that we can try Mothers on. In fact, I think I'll do that. I'll try the Autosol on a small spot of oxidation. It's nearly made it go away. Still there a tiny bit. Still there a teeny weeny bit. It's barely perceptible now. Okay, it has actually gone. Alright, so that was that. So Autosol did manage to get rid of that little piece of oxidation. Let's try the Mothers now to see if they can deal with this larger piece. Okay. Okay. I think it's safe to say it is better than Autosol because it's dealing with a large piece of oxidation in a similar sort of time frame and for a similar amount of effort that was required for Autosol to deal with a tiny piece. yeah. It's just a tiniest little remnant of it right there, but it was big and nasty looking. Yep. Anyway, that's enough of that. Clearly not Project Farm, but you get the idea. The Mother's is okay, so we're all done, and the thing is looking splendid. So we polished the platter. I rejuvenated the rubber of the mat. I replaced the 45 adapter. Cleaned the lid. We replaced the tone arm bracket, as you saw. Cleaned the tone arm lift. Had some real problems with it off camera. The speed was unstable, so I had to clean these pots, the pitch speed pots, and also the needle was the stylus was tracking badly. It was like skating on a record. The reason for that was I'll just turn this off, take the lid off, and I'll show you. Actually, just give you a quick look at what it looks like with the lid closed. So that's how it look. Sat in its proud owner's gaff. Cool. So I'll get that lid off and show you what was going on with the tone arm. Just a quick addendum. Earlier in this video I was ranting about Autosol being crap and Mother's being absolutely amazing. Mother's is absolutely amazing, but I was too harsh on Autosol because Autosol isn't crap. Basically I was using the wrong thing for the wrong job. So I was going from when metal was like, say, 3000 grit sanded to using Autosol, and really that's where Mother's comes in. Mother's has enough cut to take you from that to a really good shine, but not a mirror shine. And Autosol picks up where Mother's leaves off, gets you that next stage closer. I'll show you what I mean. So this knife, I polished this with Autosol and it looked dull as crap. Yes, it still had polish compound on it, which doesn't show up to its best. So as you can see, there are micro scratches on it. It's really shiny, and if you hold it at certain angles, it looks mirror polished, but it's not. This is as far as like Autosol can get you. I'm struggling now to come up with something to take me beyond this point to get to an absolute mirror polish. The answer is neither of these, but I think I'm developing something like a system. So yeah, Mothers can get you from really smooth, sanded, to like able to see your reflection in it without fine scratches all over it. Autosol can get you that little bit closer, but you still get these little swirls. So I'm still working on that last stage. But yeah, Autosol's not shit. Sorry, Autosol. Okay, so we're around the back of the deck, and yeah, so I had some real problems trying to play a record yesterday, and the reason was this arm. I don't know if you can see it, but it's sort of horizontal with respect to the deck. What I noticed yesterday, after bloody messing around and going crazy for ages, was that the arm was kind of, well, not quite horizontal with the deck. This height here was kind of closed. Basically, you can adjust the height of the tone arm. It makes sense because you're going to be running different cartridges. You can adjust the height of the tone arm. Somebody had this tone arm adjusted. So you undo that screw, slacken it a little bit, and then you can raise or lower the tone arm, pivoting it on the tone arm rest. Somebody had it adjusted so that the tone arm was like absolutely decked out of the bag, and so it didn't matter how much tracking force you're putting on it, even if you're putting a ridiculous amount on it, your stylus was skating across a record. I tested it with an old record. So I slackened that screw and just I had to do it off camera. So yeah, just raised the tone arm slightly on its shaft. Also, the traverse of the tone arm is adjusted back here. There's a little stop. So I'll take the tone arm off its rest and I'll show you. So traverse the tone arm, its limit is there, which I set. It was limited to about here. So obviously it wasn't going to play a record, so I had to fix that as well. And to fix that again, you just slacken that screw and traverse the tone arm to where you want the limit to be, and then lock the screw up. That's it. But yeah, trying to figure that out, trying to figure out what was going on with why the needle was skating was yeah, it's quite a thing. I was a bit stressed, but all good now. So let's play a record to celebrate. Okay, so we're all cleaned up, refurbished, and ready to go. I think the thing looks splendid. So I found us some what I think is public domain music, but I'm sure we shall find out. I'll tell you what it is. I'm just going to whack it on. so I'll turn it off.
Movie.